Boys, girls, all my Trumbullocks out there, welcome back to Other Robert. I'm Joe, and this is the mid-season premiere of Arrow. Who are you? This was a good episode. We finally got, yay, a good episode of Arrow Season 5. If you've been watching the channel, you know that I was not the biggest fan of the first half of Season 5. Neither was Rob. So this episode kind of had a lot, not only to prove, but to kind of entice me to keep watching the latter half of Season 5. And I will say that this episode accomplished that. However, although I said it was a good episode, I don't think it did any more than that. I mean, it got me, so I'll keep watching, but didn't get me hooked, and that's something that I feel like has been lacking from Arrow for a little while. But however, it was a good episode, and it started off obviously with the cliffhanger from the first half of Season 5 with Laurel. We find out pretty quickly, and the marketing pretty much released this. I believe Rob's actually gone over this on the channel. Could be mistaken. But I believe Rob's gone over the fact Laurel is not Laurel. It's Earth 2 Black Siren. And they get into that pretty quickly. I think a lot of people, when they first saw it in the first half of Season 5, kind of expected it. Didn't really think that she'd be back. And she's not. However, love what they do with Laurel here. And I'll keep calling her Laurel just because, it's Katie Cassidy, Laurel, it was interesting what they did with her. She was kind of the villain of the episode, but it meant more because of who it was. And although we didn't have closure when Laurel first died. However, after a little while, I've said it, it might have been earlier in Season 5, I said it that it felt like we finally got closure with the statue going up and everything. At one point, it kind of felt like we had closure with Laurel. It's not that it ruined that, because that character's story is done, but it's weird. It's a Shaw redemption, and that's the story that's told, that she's still going to be here. She's not going anywhere. She's going, Argus took her. She'll be back. And I think there's a really interesting story to tell there. Is it Laurel? Can you get Laurel out of this Earth 2 Laurel? And we see that in the Flash with Wells, right? Depending on what Earth he's on. Now they have HR, right? All of the Wells, though, in the Flash have been very different. And obviously this Laurel is different than Earth 1 Laurel. But can they get her? Can they win her over? Is she going to become a character that is part of the team? And that's an interesting hook. And I think that's something that hopefully will be delved into a little bit more this half of the season. To start off with this episode, I'm really hoping that they did that, so that way they leave off some room to go back down this road with Laurel this half of the season. Because that's what this episode was predominantly about. You had other storylines going on, which were great. I mean, Curtis, his storyline, fantastic. He realizing kind of his purpose. I think right now is when the ensemble, when the supporting characters here, are really kind of getting their better moments, whereas in the first half of Season 5, it kind of took forever to get there. I think that's because of their introduction that wasn't the strongest. But when you get character moments like this, Curtis had a good moment. He had a few good moments in the episode, and that realization of who he is and the hero that he'll be, and it was pretty enticing, right? To keep watching Curtis, to see him go down that journey even more. Curtis, very, very likable character, and to see him kind of go through the pain. I mean, kudos to both the actor and the writing there, because you felt it, right? This was a character that, because of everything that he's been through and that everything they've done with the character, it meant something when he was lost. So I think the Curtis moments were truly special in this episode. Um, I thought the Laurel moments were special. The flashbacks, I've been saying I could have done without the flashbacks since before season 3, right? So I mean, the flashbacks, you know, take it with a grain of salt. Uh, However, and I might have been mistaken here, I believe the character who came in at the end said her name was Talia. I could have heard it wrong. It could have been Kalia or something, but it sounded like Talia. I am curious if they're doing Talia al Ghul, because then you see a kind of bar fight type thing at the end, but the way it was kind of shot was weird. It kind of, although she probably does not have the canary cry, it kind of led to the idea that she did just because of how it kind of played out. It was weird. Um, but maybe Talia al Ghul. That's just why I could completely have heard the wrong. Couldn't have been Billy Joe. You know, I thought I heard Talia though. So that's pretty much. I did want to say too, Chase, the district attorney. Great stuff. I love the pairing of him with Diggle. I think it makes sense. It gives Diggle's storyline it's something kind of more to do. Diggle's storyline was kind of lacking in the first half of season 5 when it was going on. Wasn't too intriguing. I think the addition of Chase and we already saw kind of the fighter that Chase is in this episode in the legal sense. And I'm curious to see if he's revealed to be not Prometheus, the other villain. I know someone's going to comment down below that everyone seems to think he is. But very interesting character. I think you can do a lot more with Chase. So I'm very curious what they do with him. There was enough in this episode to make it a good episode and to have you look forward to the rest of the season. However, there's nothing really to sink your teeth too into yet, if that makes sense. But that's it for me. Let me know what you guys thought of Arrow, the mid-season premiere. Subscribe because it takes around that much effort to do so. Until next time, you have been traumatized.